Hey everybody, it's Beth Perry live with Wellness 360. I apologize I'm running a couple minutes late. Unfortunately, both of my computers weren't working. So we're gonna do this on the cell phone. My first time doing this live on the cell phone, but we will make it work. So today we're going to talk a little bit about mindfulness. So mindfulness is a little bit of a catchphrase now, and a lot of people don't quite understand the magnitude of what our body's reaction is to stress. So we're going to talk a little bit about stress, a little bit about the body, a little bit about mindfulness, and what you can do to maintain your health and feel rejuvenated and relaxed and build your resilience to stress. So let's first talk a little bit about mindfulness and what it is. So according to Jon Kabat-Zinn, who is the founder of the mindfulness who went mainstream in the University of Massachusetts back in the 70s, it is defined as paying attention to the present moment on purpose without judgments. So Jon Kabat-Zinn believes that practicing mindful living and meditation actually helps you to respond and not react to life. So what does that mean, to respond and not react? I don't know about you, but I'm sure some of you out there have had a moment where you're quick-tongued or you're someone says something to you and you immediately spurt out something negative or something nasty back just to, get them back or whatnot. So when you practice mindful living and meditation, what happens is when these things come against you and the arguments come and the things in life that make us stressed come, you're able to take a step back. You're able to take a deep breath. And then you're able to respond to that situation instead of reacting. So you have a little bit of a pause, because remember, everything that we say in life, you can't take it back. Let's be real. You can apologize for it, but everything you say is out there. So when you practice mindful living and you practice meditation, it actually helps you to be able to take that nice and deep breath and be able to respond to life situations instead of that emotional reaction that we tend to give. So we're going to talk a little bit about meditation. So meditation, it gets confused. Mindfulness is not meditation. So mindful living is more habits that you get into. So let's talk about healthy living. So in order to be healthy, we're going to sleep, we're going to eat healthy, we're going to exercise, and we're going to practice stress reduction techniques. So healthy living is the big umbrella, and eating and sleeping and all of these wellness pillars are just those pillars that hold up that foundation. So for this topic, mindfulness is the umbrella, and meditation is just one of those pillars that help you to build resilience to life. So we're going to talk a little bit later about meditation. So mindfulness will cultivate the awareness to stop our unconscious reactions. So 90% of everything we do, everything we say, and everything that happens to us is subconscious. So when we react to things, it's from our subconscious mind coming out and playing into the conscious world. So mindfulness helps to bring awareness to what is yours and what is somebody else's reaction or emotion. One thing I have to be honest with, full disclosure, practicing mindfulness will not change your circumstance. Practicing mindfulness will not change the storm around. What mindfulness does is it changes your perspective on the storm. So instead of looking at the storm for ruining your day or ruining your plans, what will happen is you actually are now looking at the flowers. You're looking at the goodness that this storm has brought. And that changes the whole body reaction and response to life circumstances. So those health responses that we normally get when we react and not respond, and those stress and that heart palpitation and the quick breathing and the digestive problems and all those things that come with stress, they're no longer happening because you're able to control that reaction. So we talked a little bit about Jon Kabat-Zinn. So he's the one from the University of Massachusetts back in 1979 that brought mindfulness mainstream. He uses mindfulness in the University of Massachusetts Hospital to bring healing and to bring stress reduction and to help people heal quicker from recovering from the hospital. So let's talk a little bit about our body and its response to stress. So our body has two nervous phases. It has sympathetic nervous phase and parasympathetic nervous phase. That's it. That's all you got. So you have the sympathetic nervous phase, which is called our fight or flight. This is when we run away from a bear. So our fight or flight is meant for us to all the blood to go to the extremities so that we can run and we can react quickly. And that is the nervous phase so that we can get away from the danger. The parasympathetic nervous phase is when you're on a massage table or when you're ready to go to sleep or whenever you're feeling a sense of calm. So typically the way the body is supposed to work is there's this wonderful ebb and flow between the sympathetic nervous phase and the parasympathetic nervous phase. So this ebb and flow work flawlessly. The sympathetic kicks in, so you get out of bed. And then the parasympathetic nervous phase kicks in, so you can rest. So you're ebbing and flowing through both of these nervous phases throughout the day. The problem with today's society is we are constantly in the sympathetic nervous phase. We are constantly running in the sympathetic nervous phase. We have deadlines. The kids are running late to school. The kids have 50 games throughout the week that you're running to and from. Your husband are playing tag team. You have toilets to clean. You have dinner to make. You have deadlines to meet at work. You hit every red light known to man to get there. So all of these things happen. And when all of these things happen, our body is in this chronic state of adrenaline rush, this chronic state of, oh my gosh, I got to get here, I got to do that. The thing with our body is, though, that it doesn't know the difference between a real threat and a perceived threat. So if we see a rope laying in the middle of the yard and we go to step on it and we perceive that rope as a snake, the same exact releases of hormones, neurotransmitters, and chemicals are being released in your body as if it were a snake. So snakes aside, if you are perceiving life in a negative way, perceiving a situation in a negative way, your body is reacting as if it's in danger. So if you wonder why you're having neck pain unexplained, you're having shoulder pain unexplained, you're having body aches, you're having excessive fatigue, you're having all of these symptoms, these digestive system problems, indigestion, acid reflux, constipation, diarrhea, the nerves, the butterflies, all of that is sympathetic nervous phase reaction. So when we are thinking negatively, and we are perceiving life as negative, those same reactions are releasing the same chemicals as if a bear is chasing us in the woods. So when we have that excessive release of adrenaline and cortisol nonstop, what ends up happening is we end up getting sick. So according to studies, 90% of our health problems they stem from stress. So 90% of doctors' visits are caused through excessive stress. Now that seems a little high if you think about it. So let's talk a little bit about what happens when we live in that sympathetic nervous phase. So chronic stress leads to type 2 diabetes. If you don't believe me and you have sugar issues, take your sugar when you're really stressed. Cortisol turns to sugar in your body. It leads to high blood pressure. It leads to heart palpitations. It leads to all kinds of different ailments in your body. So chronic stress and chronic adrenaline release and chronic cortisol release causes neck pain, back pain, chronic pain, heart problems, heart palpitations, high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes. It is constant. So it just goes on, and it leads to obesity. So chronic stress and cortisol leads to that belly fat that can be harmful to your future. So becoming aware of your body and its reactions to stress is really important for your health. So what I teach and what I do in my classes is I help you to become aware of your trigger points and the things that are triggering these stressful situations, and then you can make a change. Because you can't make a change if you're not aware that it's happening. So what we do is we turn into the body so that we can take the steps like meditation, couple some breath work techniques, different things, so that when you feel like you're getting stressed, then you're able to bring yourself back down into the parasympathetic nervous phase. With practice, you can do this in 2 to 3 minutes. It doesn't take long at all. So we're going to talk a little bit about our brain on meditation. So our brain, there is a strong connection between your body's sensations and the amygdala, which is the little tiny fear center way deep down inside of your head. So when you practice fear, and fear can be anything, it doesn't have to be afraid of the dark. Fear can be anything from being fearful of an outcome, being fearful of a diagnosis, being fearful of, am I going to be in pain tomorrow? Being fearful of the what ifs in life. So those things will actually cause that fear center to grow in your brain. So the more time you focus on the what ifs in life, you're actually feeding that fear center in your brain, and it's causing that to get bigger. So if you've ever met those people that are super duper negative in life, technically they can't help it. They've been feeding that amygdala for so long that they react. They just quickly react, and that's just who they are. Now they can stop it, but they have to do it. They have to take the steps to do it so they can retrain their brain. So increased anxiety actually causes weird body sensations. So you end up with weird tingling, numbness, heat. You feel chronic pain, like sharp pains, stabbing pains, aching pains, burning pains. A lot of this stuff comes from that chronic anxiety and your brain alerting your body that there's something wrong. So when you perceive life and perceive a surgery, perceive a situation in life as negative, it lights up that amygdala, and the amygdala is like, all right, everyone on full alert, let's send some messages down to your body to get ready for battle, to get ready to run, to get ready to tense up and to tighten up those muscles. So we need to practice not stimulating that amygdala. So this fear center, the amygdala, its job is to interpret your sensations. So what ends up happening with chronic pain is you end up having these sensations, and then your brain says, oh my gosh, I'm having these weird tinglings and these weird anxiety symptoms, or my body hurts, or I'm really fatigued. And then you trigger the fear center. The fear center says, oh no, something's wrong. It triggers more of the feeling. Next thing you know, you end up in this chronic circle and tornado and whirlwind of having these weird symptoms in your body that can eventually lead to disease. The good news is that mindful meditation and these meditation tips that I want to offer to you, once you're aware that you've stimulated that amygdala, you can practice these deep breathing techniques and these meditation techniques. And once you get good at it, then you're going to be able to turn these things off and go back into the parasympathetic nervous phase. So when you meditate, it actually changes your brain. So meditation actually grows the area of your brain that's cognitive functioning, empathy, impulse control, remember that response and not reaction, emotions, decision-making, problem-solving, emotion regulation, executive function. It's also associated with learning and memory. So yes, you can actually grow your memory. You can grow your emotional control. You make better decisions because when you're aware, that it's happening, you can bring yourself back into the parasympathetic nervous phase, turn off that amygdala, and you're able to make a decision that is clear. A lot of times we just don't pay attention in life, and we go through life completely unaware of our surroundings. Have you ever driven somewhere and wondered how in the world you got there? I know that I have. So whenever you get up here in your brain, you end up doing the what ifs and, oh, I forgot this, and oh, I should have done this. And you end up here and your body's screaming for help, and you're not aware that it's happening. Next thing you know, you're diagnosed, or you end up with chronic pain, or you end up with neck pain. When I work, my specialty is massage and medical massage, and I get into someone's neck, they're like, I don't know what happened. I just woke up one day and it was like this. But I guarantee you, it was a long time of stressful events leading up to this moment. You just were unaware that it was happening. So the more you meditate, the more the amygdala, that little thing in the back of your brain, in the middle of your brain, the more it decreases. So your fear center starts to decrease and you're less reactive to life. So when something negative happens, let's say you're going to work, you're running late, you hit a red light, you're less likely to curse under your breath and get upset because you hit the red light. You're more likely to take a nice deep breath and say, you know what, we'll get there when we get there. So do you see how this works? So whenever you get to these stressful scenarios, you can take a deep breath and your body does not respond with that release of cortisol and adrenaline. So you can actually stop that neuron connection to the amygdala, which makes that shrink, which decreases the reactions throughout life. And that is how you build resilience. The more that you practice these techniques, the more the amygdala shrinks and the more resilience you have to get through your day-to-day life without being reactive and without regulating that sympathetic nervous phase. So it is really important. Again, I'm going to talk a little bit about meditation because that's one of my favorites, but you can do Tai Chi, you can do yoga, you can do breath work, you can do meditation, walking meditation. There's so many different forms of meditation and things that you can do to stop that response, to keep your body healthy. Because who wants to be a statistic? Who wants to be that 90% that goes to the doctor's office because they have acid reflux or indigestion or an ulcer when they could have prevented it with deep breathing techniques? And I'm not saying all ulcers, all diseases, all diagnoses. Again, it's not all of them, but there is a lot that happens in life that we do have control of if we're aware when our sympathetic nervous phase comes into play. So you have to practice meditation daily. This is something like exercise and like diet. This is a lifelong practice, and it's called a practice for a reason because we're never going to be perfect at it. So practice is something you show up to every day. It doesn't have to be any more than 5 to 10 minutes, but it's something that needs to become a part, like brushing your teeth. If you decided after you went to the dentist, hey, she said my teeth look good, they're nice and clean, I'm not going to brush my teeth anymore. You're going to end up with the repercussions of not brushing your teeth. Same thing with meditation. So the brain works in what's called neuroplasticity. Your brain is dependent on those neurons firing, and it's dependent on where those neurons are firing, where the gray matter is building and where it's decreasing. So again, practicing these tips will help grow that gray matter in the brain and the important parts like the executive function and the memory and the learning and the reaction, and it decreases that amygdala. So our decisions, our reactions, and actions will actually come easier, and the gray matter will grow deeper, and we'll be able to be less reactive in life. So what happens to change the brain? In order to get neuroplasticity, what you need is awareness that your body is doing what it's doing, setting the intention to make a difference, taking the action of the meditation, breath work, yoga, whatever it is for you, and then practicing it over and over and over again. The more you practice, the quicker your brain molds, and the more you're able to repeat that process over and over. Next thing you know, you're going to wake up and you're not going to be reactive anymore. And you're going to notice that you're in a much calmer state of mind throughout the day. So, how to become a mindful presence. The really important part in this, and I'm going to get down to the good stuff that you can take home with you, put in your back pocket, and use through your day. So you must cultivate mindfulness in yourself first. Mindfulness is about you. Mindfulness is not about your husband. It's not about your best friend or that cranky neighbor. Mindfulness is about you. It does not change other people. It only changes yourself. You have got to do this yourself. It takes at least 6 to 8 weeks to notice a difference. And I know that seems like a long time, but if you give me 5 to 10 minutes every day of meditation or mindfulness, mindful practices, then I promise you in 6 to 8 weeks, you are going to notice a difference. And how I tell people in my class, what I say is just one day, something's going to happen. You're going to go, wow, that doesn't really bother me. Or you're going to wake up and go, hey, I feel pretty good. Hey, my fatigue feels better. My chronic pain's feeling a little better. So journaling is a great way to kind of, put your pain level throughout the day. Kind of a great way to see how things are changing. For me, it was being able to handle stressful situations in life easier. And I didn't notice it. My husband noticed it. So what happened is, something happened in the family, and normally I'd be super reactive and, oh, can you believe this and that and this and that? And I wasn't. It happened, and I was able to take a deep breath and walk away, and that was that. And he said to me, you okay? And I said, yeah, why? He's like, because that's not the way you typically react. So it really does feel like it happens overnight. And sometimes it's your spouse or your friend that's going to notice it even before you notice it. So once you become more mindful, you're going to sleep better, because there's studies that show that mindfulness is really great. If you practice it before you sleep, you're going to fall asleep sounder, you're going to get more restful sleep, and you're going to stay asleep longer. So when you wake up all the time through the night, it's going to happen less and less and less, because your mind is not twirling all of this negativity. It's going to help you to, although we're not striving to do anything, what it's doing is it's helping us to want to take care of ourselves. So you get a self-awareness, and you start to love yourself again, and you start to accept yourself again. And when that happens, you end up taking better care of yourself. So you typically end up losing weight, you end up feeling better, feeling more rested, and just enjoying life more, which is a really amazing thing. And you can't put a money price tag on that when you start sleeping and you start smiling and you start feeling better. Your eating habits get better because we start eating for fuel for our body and less comfort foods. So you're going to notice your eating habits will start to change, because just like buying a new car, when you sit in that car for the first time, it takes a long time before you're willing to go through a drive-through and throw your trash in the seat, Once you start self-awareness and you start self-acceptance, you're going to want to take care of yourself. It's not a chore anymore. It's not oh, I gotta do this or I gotta do that. It's now just part of you. You want to take care of you. You want to love you. And that just happens instantaneous. You don't have to do anything besides this mindful practice. And recognize that mindfulness is different in everyone. We are all on our own journey. We all have our own things that we have to deal with in life. So some of us have children that have diagnoses. Some of us have husbands or wives with diagnoses. Some of us, have a stressful job. Some of us, stress is inevitable. If I can give you any promise in life, it's that you're going to come across stress. Stress is inevitable, but you do have the choice to practice mindful techniques so that stress does not affect your body. So that is a choice that you and only you get to make. And I want to provide you with this toolbox, and I want to provide you with the keys that you need to unlock your optimum health. to bring awareness into your life, to bring self-love and compassion to yourself, and to help you change your life and your perspective in life so that you can go further in life, you can love more in life, because really, we need more love in this world right now. So we want to cultivate presence, just to be aware in the present moment, because when we sit and we resonate in the past causes depression. When we sit and we look into the future, the what ifs of the future, it causes anxiety. The only moment of true peace that we have is in the present moment. That is the only time that you have to change, is in this present moment. You cannot change the future, you cannot change the past, but you can make changes in the present moment that are going to affect your future. So let it go, my friends. Let it go. If it's in the past, let it go. It's not worth ruining your future because you can't let go of that baggage of the past. So it's going to help you listen without judgment. It's going to help you to create more friendships because you're more present. There is nothing that irritates me more than when I'm present with someone and they're on their cell phone. It's like, I am here for you. Can you please put your cell phone down? So it's going to help you to be more present in this moment, more aware of your surroundings, and you're going to want to spend time with your friends and your family, and you're going to have good communication and good listening skills. So meditation, let's talk a minute about meditation. There's a lot of talk about meditation, but it causes a response and not a reaction. I've said that a million times today, but it improves your communication because you're able to pause. You're able to bring yourself to the present moment. You're able to take a breath. You're able to see things from that higher brain and not that fear center, not that amygdala. Then you're going to be able to see what's your perspective and what's the truth. And then you're going to be able to make a response, evaluate the situation, and you're going to be able to respond to the situation without the name calling, without the hurt feelings, without all of that extra emotion that causes problems. Mindfulness, practicing mindfulness will empower you so much because you get to take control back of your life. You get to have a say in what happens. You get to take the remote control of Beth Perry and you get to put it in your pocket so other people can't push your buttons. You get to take that control back. So I'm going to teach you one meditation. I'm going to talk just shortly about different styles of meditation, and then I'm going to teach you one thing that you can do very, very quickly. It's one of my favorites, and it will help you. I want you to practice this when you go to sleep tonight because I promise you it's going to help. So what you're going to do is you're going to find an area that is free of distraction. So for meditation, some people like the guided imagery. You can... Hey, my friends, I got cut off, so I'm not sure what happened. But we're talking about meditation. So we have guided imagery. You can find guided imagery on YouTube. You can, Wellness 360's YouTube site, it's Wellness 360, there's no spaces. I have some guided meditations on that site that are free. You can do Headspace, which is a great app. It's free for a little bit of time, and then you can upgrade to the better version. And I know Jay Verna and I have talked, there's a couple other apps that he likes, but you can do the guided meditation. You can turn on some relaxing music and just listen to the music. You can take nice and deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. You can watch an object. It's getting cold and chilly. Turn your fireplace on. You can watch the flames as they go and they dance, and just allow your eyes to kind of follow the flames. You can do what's called a walking meditation, where you take very purposeful steps. And as you're walking, you notice things in the present moment. Because remember, we're not in the past, we're not in the future. This is where depression and anxiety lie. You are in the present moment. So bring yourself outside and say, I'm going to look for all of the things that are green today, or all of the things that are red today. So you have a vision and you can see, and you're using your senses. So using your senses in any type of meditation is good. So just bringing, what do you smell? What do you, thanks Tina. What do you What do you smell? What do you see? What do you hear? Just bring yourself inward and bring yourself to the present moment. You can do affirmations. I talk to myself all the time. So you can do affirmations which are, and this too shall pass. I am strong. I am healthy. So if you're really feeling down and you're really feeling not well, just say it over and over to yourself. When the fear starts, the amygdala starts to pick up, I am healthy. I am healthy. I am healthy. John Kabat-Zinn says, if your lungs are working, there's more right with you than wrong with you. So just say that to yourself over and over and over again, and it'll calm your mind. Another meditation that I like to do, and again, this is one of my favorites. Take a deep breath in. So find a comfortable seat. It's really important to find somewhere comfortable. You can lie down. If your purpose is to fall asleep, then you can lie down in bed. But most of the time you want to find something that's comfortable but not comfortable enough that you're going to fall asleep. But if you do fall asleep, guess what? Your body needed it. So it's okay to fall asleep. So when your mind starts to wander, you just return it to your breath. Some meditations, it might be 100 times returning to the breath. Some days it might be 2 or 3 times. But as your mind wanders, the last thing you want to do is say, oh, my stupid mind, I can't do this, I'm a failure, blah, 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 because that's just stimulating the sympathetic nervous base. What you need to do is, as your mind wanders, notice what you're thinking of and say, you know what, I'm just going to put that aside for a second and I'm going to come back to my breath. Always approach this in loving kindness. Always approach meditation in kindness. And if it's a day that you're having a hard day and you can't stay focused on your breath, then get up and move around and come back and try again. Again, this is a practice. So start off slow. Start off with 2 to 3 minutes. If that's too long, start off less. I know some people that like to do the adult coloring. That also brings yourself to the present moment. So any of these things are great choices. There is something out there for everyone. Obviously, if you need help and you need more structure and you want some advice, you know where to find me. You can find me at beth@wellness360fitness.com. You just throw me an email and I'd be happy to advise something better for you. But for the meditation, as your mind starts to wander, just gently, without judgment, bring it back to the breath over and over and over again. Then we're going to set an intention. So as you inhale, you're going to set the intention that you need in your body. Maybe it's peace. Maybe it's healing. Maybe it's rest. Maybe it's love. You choose what your intention is for that day. So as you inhale, you say to yourself quietly, I inhale XYZ, whatever you choose, and bring it to certain areas of your body. So start with the jawline, because how many of us grind our jaw? Start with the jawline, inhale the breath, bring it to the jaw. And as you exhale, set the intention that with each exhale, you're exhaling out anything that does not serve purpose to you in this moment. So if you are grinding your teeth, inhale love and peace. Exhale out any tension you're holding in your jaw or in your mind that's causing that grinding. And then move on. If you have a tough area that's not willing to let go, do it 2 or 3 times. If it doesn't let go, let it go. Move on to the next area. It's just your body's not ready yet. So moving from your brow line to your jawline, moving down your neck into your shoulders, all the way down both of your arms, bring it to your spine, into your pelvis, and down each of your legs into your feet. At the very end of this meditation, notice the connection of your feet to the floor. Just notice how your toes lay on the floor. Notice how your body feels in its seat. And take a couple nice and deep breaths as your body as a whole. So inhale through the nose and just envision that air coming in through the nose and that intention, whatever it is that you set, in through the nose, and it goes all the way down your whole body. And as you exhale out the last couple times, just exhale out anything that does not serve purpose to you today in this moment. Not tomorrow, not yesterday, today in this moment. So that is a really, really great relaxation and meditation that you can do. Try it tonight. Try it before bed. Do not get frustrated. It takes a little bit of time. Remember, it's a practice, so it takes time to get used to it. but I do promise you that it will make a difference in your life. It will create calmness in your mind. It will build resilience to your stressful situations. You will end up changing your perspective and calming your mind. And I would love to be a part of this process with you. So if you would like to learn more about mindfulness and you'd like to learn more about meditation and different techniques, or maybe you're just one of those people that need a little extra boost, we're starting an 8-week program starting next Wednesday at 7 o'clock p.m. At our Empire Boulevard at Genesee Valley Physical Therapy. You can do it in person. Seats are limited, or you can do it online. So you're going to get the same thing online or in person. It's just if you're at home on your couch or if you want to be in person. So you choose which you would like. You can find out or register the information at www.wellness360fitness.com, or you can shoot me an email from that website. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will talk to you soon. Positive vibes.